What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Here it's time to talk AMC Q4 revenue numbers. They're looking pretty good. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me before I get started, though. I don't want to get too crazy here talking to you guys and then find out nobody can hear me. Just hanging out right now. As a matter of fact, at the Fresh. What's going on, Biz? All right, sounds good. No, I don't. That's all right. Where's your jacket, hon? Mom's has it. Go get it. If you recognize where I'm at, it's Butcher's Fresh. What's going on, Yvonne, Joby, Sue Ray? Hello, my friends. I gotta say, go get a jacket. That's what I gotta say to my kids. Mom's gonna make him cry. Mom's gonna make him cry. All right, go. It's not a. It's a problem. Oh, 1 second. Okay, in a moment. Take this inside. That's the life of a parent right there. The Q4 numbers for AMC are already exceeding what we saw in 2019. Yep. And I was looking up today on Box Office Mojo, and we're looking at $1,104 million already. The wife and my daughter and her friend went to go see. Go ahead inside. Went to go see Wicked the day before Thanksgiving. And I know a lot of other people did as well because the numbers are just absolutely off the chain. Come here. No, come here. Yes, John, that's another wonderful point that I wanted to mention is the box office numbers that we're seeing right now already exceed the Q4 to date numbers that we've seen in 2020, 21, 22, and 23. So right now, we are only behind 2019. So even though there's been far fewer releases, this is the best numbers we've seen in the box office, Q4 to date, since 2019, since previous to the scamdemic. So this is all great news, as you guys might imagine. Hey, Jaina says, hope you and your family had a beautiful Thanksgiving. I keep praying for our country to prosper and MOAS to come for all our apes. Cheers, my friend. Thank you, Jaina. Your support is greatly appreciated. Hello, Flower. Hey, John. Yeah, it is definitely exciting thing to see right now. The numbers for Wicked aren't even in yet for the box office. And we saw that, I don't know what that was. That must have been, well, on Wednesday. So they're looking at still adding to that 1,104 million in a significant fashion. Red One, still the numbers aren't in for that yet either. And I did notice one thing. Did you guys see that Adam Aaron was going absolutely crazy with the posts? Like he was just tweeting like it was going out of style on Thanksgiving. It's almost like he was trying to get to a magic number, 5,660 posts. But I don't know. That's a little tinfoil hat. You know what I mean? With 566. If you guys may or may not have noticed, the stock did hit 509 today, which I thought was incredible. It hit a high of $5.09. And then I believe that it was shorted. I don't believe that the price drop was actually anything but artificial. I truly believe that it was manufactured, that it was the market makers setting the price like they've said they would in the past. They said they continue to do many times over. So I do not see the drop from 509 to 491 being retail selling or even institutional selling of shares. I see it as the majority of that being a sort of different kind of market manipulation, whether it be spoofing or actual short selling or even naked short selling. That's truly how I feel when I look at the numbers, because keeping AMC under the $5 mark today means that hundreds, if not thousands, of call contracts are out of the money. Go play. Go ahead. And those contracts being out of the money means that market makers and shorts don't have to hedge for them. So I do think that that is pretty impressive that they can continue to do it. But as you've noticed, the volume since the inception of the consolidated audit trail, the CAT system, has been greatly diminished. And I don't think that that's coincidental either. I think that that's because without the ability to add spoofing orders in a way that they used to, right? I still believe that there are wash trades being done, but the reduction in the number of wash trades that can occur due to all the trades needing to be reported, I think is quite significant. Cutter-wise, I don't want to speculate as to how many shares of AMC are floating in the market today. You know, I've already speculated this in the past, and I've speculated that there are probably billions of synthetics. You know, I would say that I wouldn't be surprised to see if there are 5 to 10 billion in synthetic shares that don't actually exist in the market for AMC stock, and very similar numbers for GameStop. Whether people want to believe that or not, the fact is that it's a reality. The reality is that market makers create synthetic shares every single day. That's the whole point of the market maker rule exemption. And the way they get away with it is by processing your trades in dark pools. And when your trades are processed in dark pools, they're internalizing the order. That means that Citadel keeps it in-house for up to 28 days before they even have to deliver, and many times they fail to deliver anyway. The way that you get a share is they give you a number in your account and say that they gave you those shares. Then they're supposed to buy them to deliver from you. Yes, typo negative is CNS. For those of you that don't know, that stands for continuous net settlement. And the continuous net settlement is a form of rolling shares over and over again to basically settle trades without sufficient number of shares. And they claim it to be in the name of liquidity. But at the end of the day, they're synthetic. And the reason that they fail to deliver so often is because they don't have those numbers of shares. Even with the issuance of shares from AMC and GameStop, I don't believe that a few 100 million shares of AMC or a few 100 million shares of GameStop is sufficient to close the tens of millions of failed to delivers that we see every fucking month on these stocks. Not to mention, aside from that, the synthetic shares that are constantly being created. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I do feel that it's really incredibly important. And the numbers right now exceeding what we've seen as far as revenue for the quarter to this very date is unlike anything we've seen since 2019. And they're doing it with about 2/3 the number of movies. So like 35% fewer films, and they are meeting the same numbers that we saw in 2019 for revenue, which I think is incredibly impressive. And when I look at it, a lot of things have gone up in terms of inflation, and the price of seeing a movie hasn't really gone up that much. Like I said, I just bought tickets for the wife and my friend, and my wife and my daughter and her friend to go see Wicked, and the movie theater tickets were $13.99 in laser with Dolby Digital, if I recall. You know, it was a high end and like the comfortable reclining seats and everything like that. And that was, I didn't think that was bad at all. $13.99 for an adult to see a 2 hour, 2 hours and 40 minutes of entertainment to see Wicked. And then, you know, they got popcorn and drinks and shit like that, but it is what it is. Of course, that adds to it, but as a shareholder, I'm more than happy to pay for it to add to the movie theater experience for the family and to support a company that I am a long-term holder of. And yeah, it definitely looks good since the numbers for Wicked haven't come out yet, and for Red One, and I think that they're going to be increasing that number from 1.1 billion by several hundred million, at least a couple hundred million in the next day or two. And it's not even Saturday yet. It's still Friday night. We've still got all of the Friday box office numbers, the Saturday and the Sunday box office numbers, in a time where a lot of people like here, like in the entirety of Texas, are on fall break, and a lot of the southern states as well are on fall break for Thanksgiving. And then around the rest of the country and up north in the Midwest, they've got the weekend coming in here with Thanksgiving weekend, where a lot of people are off going to see these highly sought after films. And I could definitely see these numbers hitting 1.4 billion year to date, which is almost what we had in 2019. So that's pretty good considering there's been about 38% fewer movies this year than there was in 2019. So yeah, the short thesis is toast. The short thesis is screwed. I did buy more AMC and GameStop. I was pretty excited about that. Of course, I saw Red Day, and so I had to make the most of it. So anyways, I'm going to go here, make sure the kids get some pizza here. We're out here playing in the playground and whatnot over at Brookshire's Fresh. Louis B asks, what happened if AMC was taken over and the $4 billion in debt was paid off? Would that company make tremendous profit? I don't see why AMC would be taken over at all. It's a public company, and so we would be able to know if that was happening by a company purchasing a number of shares. And at the same time, we own 90% of the float anyway. So if that happened, people would know that there's a ridiculous number of synthetic shares right away. But AMC is already looking at making some positive net profit here in the coming days and weeks. But that, Cutterwise Titan says it right there. A company can't get taken over. Retail owns the float and wouldn't sell. You know, and even if somebody did buy more than 10%, the filings will reflect that. Like BlackRock recently increased their AMC holdings by like 42%. Vanguard did the same with 45%, and Bank of America increased their holdings of AMC by like 411%. So that's food for thought. This was on November 16th, for those of you that are wondering. But all right, folks, wish you peace and wealth. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, great Friday, and enjoy your weekend. Cheers, my friends. We're going to be filthy fucking rich.